Hi, this is Dan Bell, and in this episode of the Dead Motel series, we're headed to the majestic foothills of the Pocono Mountains to tour the legendary Penn Hills Resort. Founded as a tavern in 1944, this 500-acre resort grew in the 1960s to include a ski resort and golf course. Guest villas featured heart-shaped whirlpool jacuzzis, round beds, and floor-to-ceiling carpeting. The resort also featured an ice rink and a wedding bell-shaped swimming pool. Penn Hills was billed as a paradise of Pocono pleasure and a place of unbridled passion. The resort catered to swingers, honeymooners, and young couples. In 2009, co-founder Francis Palillo died at the age of 102. The resort closed less than 2 months later. Workers' final paychecks were never issued, and the resort owed the county over $1 million in back taxes. Already in serious disrepair, flooding and copper thieves damaged the buildings further, and the resort was abandoned. My goal with this video is to bring Penn Hills back to life for the next 15 minutes. And I hope you, the viewer, can see through the graffiti and destruction and decay and picture what once was. This video is like the last hurrah for Penn Hills, and that's pretty sad. I would have loved to have hung out at Penn Hills back in the day, but that was another era, another time, and that time is over. Penn Hills, during its heyday, you would have had to have booked your room months in advance. Otherwise, you wouldn't have gotten a room. This place was slammed busy. It's a legendary resort. The commercial that you see in the beginning of this video, and you'll see it again at the end of the video, played in New York City, played in Philadelphia. Everyone knew that commercial. So they would see that and say, hey, let's go to Penn Hills. And it was an all-year resort. Winter, summer, spring, fall, whenever. People came all year long. And then something happened. The place started to fall out of fashion. Bills weren't paid. Rooms got dirty. Prices went up. It was $300 a night for a room when this place closed in 2009. So try to imagine that, paying $300 for one of these rooms. At that time, they didn't have a lot of staff to keep things clean, so the rooms were filthy, and you get the idea. Here we're seeing the interior of the indoor pool with 2 hot tubs, and they probably also had a bar in here as well. Actually, I would say they definitely had a bar in here for the time period, but I didn't see one that was obvious, obviously a bar. So it was either something they rolled away or it was taken away at some point. Perhaps where the blue catnap is, that little window there, maybe that was the bar. Here's some of the villas. We're about to go in and check one out. This little creek runs through the resort and empties out into the lake on the other side. The resort sits on 2 sides of the road, so there's a road that goes through the middle of the resort. Here is in one of the villas with the famous round bed. Right here where the mirrors are, that would have been a round bathtub or a round whirlpool jacuzzi. And then up here you have the round bed with the columns. The most hideous part of this besides the red carpet walls and tackiness. That I found condom wrappers. They were all over the floor. So apparently the romance has not ended at Penn Hills. People are still exploring each other's sexuality in this abandoned place. Here we are in the rear of the buildings that face the wedding bell-shaped swimming pool, which we'll see coming up here in a few seconds. We're going to go into one more room, and then we're going to go into a musical montage. I love this room with the round bed and the mirrors. That's so awesome. I love how they put the bed on that platform. It's so cool. So we're going to see this bathroom, and then we're going to go straight into the montage. Hope you enjoy, and I'll be back in a second. So here we are inside Cupid's Lounge, and here is the main bar in Cupid's Lounge, made of vinyl with a nice cushy foam underneath of the vinyl, which was nice if you were sitting on a stool having a cocktail. Your knees would be resting comfortably on the vinyl, and your elbows would be resting on the vinyl that's on the bar. So made for a nice comfortable place. Here we are in the main dance floor area, and there's a stage in here as well, and the drop ceilings have all dropped, as you can see, but they were covered with that reflective surface there, so it probably would have made for a really dandy kind of disco environment. I'm sure there was a lot of good times in this place back in the heyday of Penn Hills. How about these exotic plastic plants hanging down from the ceiling? Always adds a nice exotic touch to this environment. Through these double doors is a storage area that's off to the side of the dance floor. And then we're going to go back into a hallway which was used as storage for a lot of the restaurant wear. The main restaurant for Penn Hills is upstairs from where we're walking right now, and we'll see that in a moment. But first we're going to look into a couple of these storage rooms. This is where the kitchen was, and has now become a palette for a bunch of crappy graffiti artists who aren't even really artists. They're just people who are coming in to spray paint stupidity on the walls in order to destroy the place, and they've done a very good job at that. Here's one of the dining areas. Atrium dining. I love the windows. This would have been the main dining room, and as you can see, the mirrors that were on the wall have been completely broken. We're going to go into another dining room that's behind this, through this doorway and a little hallway here. I like how the carpet in this place is original. They kept it all those years, so through the 70s into the 2000s. It's incredible how long the carpet lasted. And next up, we're going to go to the tennis court and the ice rink. And the ice rink has been used for storage of a bunch of furniture and stuff, so you'll get to see what I'm talking about.
Call toll-free 800-233-8240 for reservations at Penn Hills.
For lovers only.